It's the morning after WrestleMania and two amazing nights in Woolshed that were the culmination of actually months of fucking planning. Then one frantic show week that saw the parties appear on Netflix, ESPN, and WWE social media. I still have clips with them that they said, "Oh, we'll use that." So I don't know. We may show up on Raw tonight yet. It's a fucking mad week. I'm not even dressed. Big bedhead on me, rolling out of bed here. This is normally the part as we get kicked off on another edition of Low Blows. Gerry Ger back as always. It's normally the part where I make a pop culture reference and kind of loosely tie it into wrestling to get us underway. But you know what? It's the WrestleMania Hangover show. So my only question for you, Gerry, as we get underway is, how's the head?
Well, as of right now, my head is fairly dry because I had to leave the party, come home, fucking sort out a leak in my fucking in my ceiling that was pissing water out from one of the burst pipes, dry my hair, go back, still look fantastic, and be back at the party. But just in time to see Oba walking up the ramp, my most famous, well, not famous, but my most anticipated match, and the match was over, and I just missed the match. I'm like, so yeah, my head is fine. I'm not, and in fairness though, I'm not even that tired because it did finish at 2:30 yesterday.
That's great.
So I was like, that's not too bad actually. I was like, that was all right. But let's be perfectly honest here. We have a lot to get off our chest about this weekend. We really do.
Right, okay. Two different things there. We're going to talk in this show. It's the WrestleMania Hangover show. So we're just doing a wrap up of everything to kind of put a bow on the entire thing. When we say we have a lot to talk about, if you weren't at the parties and you're like, ooh, what happened? Nothing. Like the parties went well. We're going to talk about that. That's
Party was fantastic. Party went
yeah.
off without a fucking hitch. People, this is the thing about these parties. I've always loved doing these parties, and we were only talking last week about how like our favorite moments of them were like seeing old people come back, or like older clientele coming back. It was absolutely brilliant. I loved that, and then newer people. But this weekend went up a notch after Saturday, and what people were seeing on Netflix, of course, on ESPN and on WWE Instagram and whatnot. People were like, I didn't know about that. What the fuck is that party? And then they searched for us and they came. So we had people coming from the country, people with, Jesus, there were a million different accents yesterday. Most of them absolutely bladder drunk. And it was absolutely fantastic. There was even like a group of guys that came in and said, we literally only saw you last night on TV. So we thought we'd come up and give it a go. They couldn't speak by the end of the night, but they still had a great night, which was really, really good. Drink responsibly, people. But we the fact that we had so many like even more new faces over the course of this weekend, because generally when it comes to WrestleMania, let's be honest with you, a lot of people from Ireland will travel, and some of our regulars we generally see at Mania in the crowd. Now, because of the craziness of this weekend, I didn't get to see much of who was in the crowd, but I saw from socials that a lot of our regulars were there. Did that cause an issue for us? No, because then we're getting all these new people coming in because of people seeing us online and people seeing us on the broadcast. I'm like, this is not only good for us because obviously it's really good for us, but it's great for the fans that they like.
Yes.
They're now seeing, even more people are saying we have this place to go to. Well, so yeah, really loving the fact that we're getting all these new faces in. It's brilliant.
They're like that's you've hit the nail on the head there. It's like there's a community out there for me. You know what I mean? Like, and we've been going since 2012, and we kind of think we've reached a lot of people, but like, there's so many wrestling fans in Ireland that there's a whole like, especially like, and you hit the nail on the head, like the countryside as well. Like, I think everyone who's a wrestling fan in Dublin knows about us, like of a certain age. But like the people getting like kind of, oh shit, that happens. There's stuff, and now it's real. It was like, for me, that'll be my abiding memory of this weekend. It's like just the years that we put into this and to kind of get that recognition. Like, there's a thing I love, and this is gloriously petty of me, right? But WWE UK, even when I got home last night, I didn't even see this. There's so much shit being shared around from our nights. I only saw WWE UK sharing a new post, and they're still sharing the Saturday posts. The Cody Rhodes, did you see that? The Cody Rhodes celebrate? Yeah, it's up on her. I shared it on her story. Have a look after we're finished. they're still sharing stuff on it, right? That's the WWE's UK page, right? Do you know how many? So they shared two so far from Ireland. Do you know how many videos they've shared from UK parties?
None.
Zero. You up the lads. You up the lads.
Chucky our low blows.
Chucky Harlow blows. Yes, there you go. A new catchphrase was born. Yeah, unbelievable. It's so cool. And it's like we call ourselves the best fan parties in the world. And when I say that, it's not just me patting us, like me, Jerry, Jimmy, and Jimmy on the back. Um, it's you guys. You guys make it the best fan parties in
Yeah.
the world. Ireland makes it the best fan parties in the world. We know there's something special. We've always known there's something special because we've run the parties and we've got to see what you guys have brought to it and how up for it you are. It was just so nice to get the recognition though of being identified as that. Like I was texting, I was showing people like text conversations I was having with WWE last night, and it's nuts. Like I spent the weekend texting them, no one you've ever heard of. I'm not like texting like Triple H or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? It's a big company, but like, it was wild. It was absolutely wild, and to have those moments, like it was just. And I'll get into the story of how that ended up happening because I couldn't really talk about it last week. I wanted to give us a heads up, but it wasn't signed off until literally Friday was when it was like, right, this is happening. And we recorded before then, but I wanted just to kind of know. So you didn't miss it. So you didn't see it on Netflix and be like, I should have fucking went. Why didn't he tell us? But I'll tell you how that all came together. That's my abiding memory of the weekend. When you think back to this weekend, when you're thinking back in 5, 10 years, like we were last week, reflecting on WrestleMania's past, what's the memory that you'll have of this weekend? It can be as big or as small as you like. What is the thing that you will remember about WrestleMania 42 weekend, Jerry?
Well, I hope it's not the leak of me fucking ceiling. Really do.
The
It's not that.
absolute trooper,
The-
Jerry. Jerry's not messing. Jerry had to leave the party and come back in the middle. And the fact that you came back, you didn't need to. Like your ceiling is leaking. That's
No,
okay
no,
to leave.
I needed to come. See, this is the whole thing. So I literally pegged it out the door into the car, home in about 10 minutes. Got the plumber over. He sorted it out. We cleaned up a little bit. We put like pots and pans down to catch the water. Eventually, it stopped. I said, "Right, I'm going back to work."
Yeah.
Headed back in, and of course, I literally am outside the Woolshed in the car. Just need to park the car. Jimmy shouts over, "Oh, but it's his entrance! Hurry up!" And as I turn the corner, guard a checkpoint. I'm like, "Oh, this is great. This is great. Like, fine, car's fine, tax, insurance, NCT, the whole lot, no problem, no issues with the car." But it
You
was just
don't
a
have to
queue up.
defend yourself. It isn't a
I was
court
like,
of law, Jerry.
I fucking, everything's a quarter law. Fuck off. But I was like, I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss it. And literally, as I walked in the door, there's Oba walking back up the fucking ramp. I'm like, Jesus Christ. But for me, this weekend anyway was exactly what I said earlier on. You know, we'll get into actually talk about Mania in a few minutes, and as I said, I think of a few things to get off my chest about that. But what I will remember the most, there's certainly good matches on the card, and there's certainly things happen and whatnot. But it's actually going to be the people that we had in the
Mm.
Woolshed. It is seeing the people that we've known for years coming in, people we haven't seen for years coming in, and then so many new people. And again, I am reminded that I was very much reminded over the course of the weekend that yes, I am 42, and we have been doing this since 2012, and some of these people were literal children when we started, but we did have a good time. We met the Irish version of the Bella twins coming in yesterday for the first time to our parties.
Did they
Um,
the best?
yeah, we're going to
But
call
it's
them
more
the
like Bella from Fair City than Nikki and Brie Bella.
yeah. It basically I was calling them the O Bellas.
Yo,
Because you have
Bellas.
to put the O at the front, the O Bellas to make it Irish. So yeah, the O Bellas came in last night. And then I said groups of people coming to do it. Oh, we came up from Newbridge, or we came up from Kildare, or we came up from here. There, it was like
I
so
want to
many
give a
people.
shout out. I want to give special. I want to name names. Jack
Yeah.
Neville and his group who were in the state. They
Yeah.
won the stadium seats.
Mhm.
They won the prize for the weekend, and they absolutely brought it. They were fucking brilliant in setting the atmosphere from 8 p.m. on Saturday. They fucking read the brief. They saw that we said bring Irish flags, dress up, do everything like bring the atmosphere, and they fucking killed it. They helped just set the tone for the night. They're exactly the kind of people we want in the stadium seats.
Oh,
Absolutely brilliant.
absolutely. The
Just
thing
got
for
the
me was,
brief.
I was on the door with Jimmy, and we saw the lads coming over with the flags on. I'm like, are they come for the show, or did they come from far right protest? I didn't know which one it fucking was. I was like, mother of Jesus. But of course, no, they were here for wrestling too, because they were actual patriots. And like you could see how much they enjoyed it, especially when the Irish wrestlers won.
Yeah.
And of course, there wasn't too many Irish wrestlers on the card, but of course, we had Finn Balor winning, we had Becky Lynch winning, absolutely fantastic. But the eruption when both of those won I was like, Jesus, this just brings me back. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is the thing I said to myself. When I was sitting there watching it, and for each one, from when Becky won and when Finn won, I had the same thought in my mind. I'm like, we are actually back. I know we've been back now for over a year and a half, two, whatever it is. I can't remember how long we're back now, but I'm like, no, we're really back because
I get
that
what you're
brought the
saying.
vibes of those. You remember the very first WrestleMania in the Woolshed and how absolutely just explosive it was, and
Yeah.
that's what this weekend felt like. I'm
I,
like,
I, I had the
we're
same
really
thought.
back this time. We're really back.
Yeah, I had the same thought that, like, you know what I mean? It's very easy for a company like Low Blows, who've ran since 2012, for us to kind of position ourselves, especially because we came back and we relaunched for WrestleMania 40. It's very easy for us to position ourselves as, oh, there's the heyday of Low Blows, and then there's now, and as if we're some kind of nostalgic tribute act. But actually, I think the thing that you're kind of get hitting at there is that actually we're at a new peak.
Yeah.
Like we're on Netflix like this weekend, like, do you know what I mean? It's happening again, and it's kind of coming back in a very real way. And that, like, when I think when in 20 years we look back on like these days, I think these are some of the days we'll look back on as like, oh, holy shit, they were good times. And like that, I appreciate it. That's the thing that kind of age, like, unfortunately, because we are getting up there. But I think that's the thing that age and maturity gives you, the ability to appreciate it in the moment and just be able to take a step back. Because you didn't. We were so fast moving in the early days, and we were just like fucking like fighting for our like survival half the time, and just
Mm.
claiming to exist and be legitimize ourselves, that we weren't able to kind of take a step back and go, holy shit, Becky Lynch just like sent us a message. Holy shit, Finn Balor sent us a message. We weren't able to appreciate all of that because it was so manic. But now we're older, we're more experienced. It's easier to do what we do because we just have our shit down, and we can actually just step back and enjoy it and love it. And that's like, this is some of the most fun I've ever had. I remember WrestleManias used to be, you guys would be used to me like, not in like, well, I say not in a bad way, but I wouldn't mean anything by it. But I'd be so fucking stressed. I'd be so fucking anxious. I'd be shouting on the floor. I'd be like, Jerry, get the fuck over there. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was intense. And that's just
Yeah.
not the vibe that we have now. We're all just like, we're mates, we're co-workers, we love doing this. We've had time away from it, and we just all have a laugh doing it, and we can enjoy it very much in the moment. Like,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I want to get into telling you the story about how Netflix and all that happened. Like, we were on, and I think I brought it home. I don't think people thought about it until I said it on the mic on Saturday. I was like, lads, who wants to be on WrestleMania tonight? We were on
Yeah.
WrestleMania. That's nuts. Forever, when you watch back WrestleMania 42, you can see us there. That's permanently committed to broadcast now. In the same way, you know, I look back on WrestleMania 17 and I've watched that so many times. I can remember the cut scenes in between matches and like the fan access clips and stuff. That's us now. That's we fall into
Yeah.
that. I want to tell you how that happened and came about, because there is a story, and this is what I love about the Mania Hangover shows. There's always a story that comes from it that we don't plan for or see coming. It just happened. I'd actually pushed for this, and I've spoken about this before and kind of hinted at it. I can tell you the proper story now. I pushed this with WWE. Have been pushing them for years. I'm like, look, we have this amazing thing going on, and it ties in. It only makes your brand look great, like, and people hot for WWE. The fact that there are people this intensely, like, passionate about wrestling, like, over the other side of the planet. But it wasn't their idea, and they didn't really like. And I get that as well. People will pitch me ideas, and I'm just like, I have it already planned out in my head, like, and I just don't know how I'd fit that in. But then later we'll come back to it, like, and we'll kind of position it. So I get it from their side. We got to our closest actually last August, where I was in an email thread with really important people within WWE. Again, no one you've ever heard of. It's a really big company. But when you look at the titles, it was like heads of departments and stuff like that, where kind of going back and forth. And it was a mad email thread because like part of it was like, well, what about this and what about that? And you're charging and this and that. And we had it all out. Like it was 1 minute I was like, we're going to be on SummerSlam. And it was around the reason they were interested was because it was Becky against Lyra. You might remember. And I'm like, this is the perfect time to do this. We'll get people hot like for this match. So they were interested and they were thinking and talking about it. And we had it all out. We argued. I had the arguments that I'd been expecting to have, and they kind of were like, "Oh yeah, that's fair enough." And then it just didn't happen. They didn't come about. It wasn't part of the plan, and it wasn't meant to be. I'm okay with it. And even when you look at like that match was featured on Unreal because it wasn't a match they wanted to have either. Do you know what I mean? So it wouldn't have really worked. It wouldn't have hit in the way that it hit this weekend. But I just kind of left it there. And the pitch that I gave them was, look at what they do this for the Super Bowl. They cut to different parties around the world and stuff. It'd be really cool. Um, and it was like, you know, it has always been weird what we do. Like the wrestlers love it. Like you see the likes of Becky, Finn, Lyra sending messages or sharing our stuff on social media. But then other times they have to ignore it because there is a back and forth and a push pull. And you've even seen that kind of play out in terms of how WWE love it sometimes and then they hate it other times. A few weeks ago, WWE tried to ban all watch parties and now they're showing clips from watch parties. And actually, it was probably the backlash to them trying to ban watch parties that made them probably feel like, oh, we need to actually show that we do like our fans on the broadcast and kind of put them right again. And that probably benefited us in a way. I got an email the week of WrestleMania, so last week, from WWE. And do you know the way when you hear stories of people getting offered contracts and they're like, they get a call from Triple H and they're like, oh, will you fuck off? I used to always laugh at that because I'm like, well, you've been waiting for this call. You've been expecting it. So when it happens, like, of course you're going to believe it. But I lived that scenario where my first instinct was, this is a scam. Someone's fucking like trying to get us like GP are back doing a fucking prank on us or something like that. I'm like, what's going on? Is this Joker Bray? Like, what's happening here? I'm like, what's going on here? I didn't believe it and I was doing extensive research and like it was a bit of a leap of faith where I'm like, I see enough here to believe that it's real, but I won't believe it. I kept saying to the lads, I won't believe it until I see us on the screen, and that's what made it kind of fun and really like kind of nervy and intense as well, which kind of added to it. And they just, what it was funny was they pitched, and this is what happens, like, because again, when it's not their idea, they're not going to do it. But you put the idea in their head and you hope that it boomerangs back to you. So what they pitched me was, do you ever see the Super Bowl and how they clipped it? And I'm like, that's what I pitched you last August. But it was great in terms of like they told us the idea. The producer we worked with was amazing. I can only say good things. Again, not someone you're likely to know, not someone that's kind of front of house or anything like that, but was brilliant, so accessible, made it so easy for us to share stuff, gave amazing feedback, was so excited about what we did. They were like, holy shit, I can't believe this is going. Like we were chatting on WhatsApp and it was just like, oh my God. And I was like, and yeah, we do this and we do this and we do this. Like we're perfectly set up to kind of work with this. Gave us great direction, gave us great feedback. Like we sent one clip at the start, which is people playing WWE 2K26. We were like, if you want to get that in, and they're like, no, that's not great. Like you need to get something crazier. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Um, and then it was just bizarre spending WrestleMania weekend just texting back and forth, getting ideas. Like it was like everything we'd ever kind of dreamed of. And then on the night, but like there's still the chance that we don't get the clips that we need, which is why I always said we're going to submit it to WWE, not we're going to be on Netflix, because what if we just give them shit? I knew our people would bring it, but I needed them to know the clips need to be good too. And then everyone showed up on Saturday, fucking pumped out of their minds. And we're like, let's fucking do this. And I was like, we're grand. We've got it sorted. And then everything we did, we set people up. You saw the clips. If you watch WrestleMania, if you're listening to this, you've seen kind of the clips already. They're on our socials if you want to see the full clips like that we did. And it was fucking amazing then just getting that validation. I actually missed it at first. After all that, like I missed them showing it on Netflix. I had to rewind the broadcast for everyone to kind of get a reaction. Um, but it was brilliant. It was great crack. And then on the Sunday as well, I think they'd only planned to show clips on the Saturday, but I was like, nah, we're doing this again. I'm like, I had too much fun last night, and people had now shown up with the idea of, oh, it'd be cool if we got on Netflix. So I was like, I want to validate their trip too. So I was like, we got the clips, and then the producer got back to us and was just like, these are fucking amazing. Oh my God. I didn't curse, by the way. He's very professional. That's just me. I'm the unprofessional one. But he's like, these are amazing. I'm gonna fight to get these on the broadcast. And then texting me after, it's like, we got it. It's going up after Rhea against Jade. And that allowed everyone to kind of get ready, which we didn't know when it was coming on Saturday. And then on Sunday, it's like, right, okay, get ready. And then it was like, it was just amazing payoff, amazing recognition. Absolutely loved it. Thanks to WWE. And from our early conversations, they're like, this worked and this is what I hoped for. They're like, this worked really well. So let's continue kind of this contact that we have and let's kind of see what we can build. And I'm like, oh, we're doing Clash in Italy in May, we announced over the weekend. We're going to be doing stuff for SummerSlam. We're going to be doing stuff for Survivor Series, all the big four. So let us know if there's anything you ever need. So amazing stuff, great validation. And for all the people, do you remember people were like, when Netflix came around, they're like, oh, you can't show Netflix, they're going to shut you down. And we were like, no, they're not. We were on Netflix last night, lads. It fucking worked. It was great. It was just such a good payoff for everything we've worked for. Gerry, and add to all of that.
No, I was sitting there on the Saturday, and um, you know, after 57 million ads or 27 million promos for Hulk Hogan's thing, I finally see something that wasn't any of that. I'm like, oh, there's a watch party. Wait, hold on, there's a watch party, and I just pointed at the screen, and then all of a sudden, Dublin. I'm like, fucking hell. Like just absolutely insane, and the whole Woolshed just upended, absolutely upended. It was amazing. So then on the Sunday, I was like, are we gonna get it again? And again, I think it was an India watch party. I was like, we're coming back. I'm like, no, not that one. No, not that one. There we are, and we were there again. I'm like, that's fucking 2 nights in a row on something that's not only on Netflix, but it's literally being shown all over the world, everywhere that you watch wrestling, to tens of millions of wrestling fans. And I'm like, they saw our fucking party. I'm like, if that doesn't make you proud, I don't know what does. But it was just incredible feeling, incredible moment to be able to go. That is, as you said, that's the validation for all the years of hard work that's been put into it. And it was obviously ultimately you started the dialogue, you started it was your idea. They were like, oh no, it's no, it's no, it's not our idea, so piss off. And then all of a sudden they come to you pretending like it's their idea. It's like, no, it's not. Fuck off. It's our idea. Piss off. Da-da-da-da.
But no, it was like for me, I'd say this producer had the idea independently and it just circled back, but because they'd already thought about it and like, but then someone within the company pitched it to them. So I didn't get the impression that this guy, like, he wasn't on the email threads that I previously had. So he probably, it's like when we started the watch parties and then how we ended up in Woolshed was we did captains and then the second WrestleMania and captains, we kind of figured we're too big for this venue now, not in a dickhead way, but just we had such a big demand for tickets that we needed a bigger venue because we couldn't actually we had to turn people away. Um, and then like Woolshed came out of nowhere and we're like, we're running watch parties. And then all of a sudden we were like, we already have them. And Woolshed were like, oh yeah, well then you run them because we don't know how. And I'm like, yeah, that's grand. I think it was a similar situation to that in terms of they had the idea independently and saw the opportunity. I think it was more a case of the backlash to banning watch parties that and like the CM Punk promo I think played a part in it too, like where he's like go back to being about the fans and that kind of thing. And I think there is stuff happening in WWE where they're reacting to the backlash that they've gotten from a lot of the TKO led moves. And that's what played into our favor here. So I don't think it was just pure plagiarism of the idea, but it definitely was like we've been planting the seeds, and then it just so happened that when that boomerang back to us, it was like we've been expecting you. We've been waiting for this for years, literally.
Yeah.
It was so fucking cool. Let's talk, but don't worry, guys. We're not co-opted or anything like that. We're still independent. We're not in WWE's bag. And with that in mind, let's talk about WrestleMania. We'll start with WrestleMania Saturday. This was an interesting one because it was a 3.5 hour show. It started at 11, ended at half two Irish time. So 3.5 hours they had for the biggest wrestling show of the year, and exactly 1 hour and 24 minutes of the show itself was spent wrestling. Probably just as much on ads and stuff like that. But there was over 2 hours worth of stuff where it's ads, it's entrances, it's not even like content. It is like they didn't do like mad backstage segments or anything like that. It's wild. Like some numbers as well. Only Jacob and Drew, Gunther, Seth, and Cody Orton went over 10 minutes in terms of in-ring time. Only the main event, Cody Orton, went over 20 minutes. There were 7 matches on the card, so it's not as if it was a stuffed card and you're like, well, they had to fit in 15 matches, so they had to cut down the time of the matches. They had the time, they just didn't use it. All of the women's matches went under 10 minutes, which in a weekend that they inducted Stephanie McMahon, who invented women, lest we forget, um, into the Hall of Fame.
Jesus Christ.
On the weekend that they inducted her in, it's mad that they just took a step back and then cut the women's matches. Like they were the matches that went under. It's mad that Drew against Jacob on the pre-show got more time than any women's match on the main show, which is, I don't know. Gerry, thoughts on WrestleMania Saturday?
So uh, this is the thing, right? When you look at it objectively and you say to yourself, okay, the performers went out there and did what they do best. They performed to the constraints that they had. So they were obviously told, you have 8 minutes, you have 10 minutes, you have 6 minutes, wherever it may be. So they went out and they wrestled their absolute hearts out because that's what they do. These guys, every one of them, men and women, are absolute professionals, and they went out and they killed it. I didn't see much bad spots or bad wrestling for the entire weekend because it's WrestleMania. You put your all in. Like even when you're looking at even we'll obviously get to Sunday, but even when you look at certain things on Sunday, you think, well, that's not going to be very good. It's actually really good. I was like, okay, so the wrestling itself is very good. The booking decisions, okay, not great, but that's the nature of wrestling. Is booking is a thing that you're one day you're going to like, one day you're going to not. You don't have an issue with that. Like you do, but it's like, okay, well, it's wrestling. You're gonna have some good days and some bad days. What we had on Saturday, I think, and I have to say it like this, was a fucking disgrace. Is that you're sitting there, You get a match. You're like, great. Probably get a backstage promo now, a bit of Danhausen, or Stone Cold was there for the weekend. He could have appeared in the backstage segment with John Cena or anything at all. There was so many people there. You could have included 10 fucking promos backstage. Even when you look at, do you remember the very first WrestleMania we had after COVID, where it was in an arena and the rain was pissing down on them,
Yes.
so they needed to cover time because they didn't have fucking ads, so they needed to
Samoa
cover time.
Joe
So
and
they
the
had load.
poncho.
Samoa Joe and the poncho. You had 3 or 4 promos done backstage that were so quickly done. There was no scripts, that they were shy, but at least they did something, and we had wrestlers featured. What we got last night was an extent. What we started not last night. Well, yeah, probably. What we got over the weekend were extended episodes of Raw and SmackDown, because we got we'll be right back for 3.5 minutes. And more than once, the 3.5 minutes was not 3.5 minutes, went up to 5 minutes. And as soon as the welcome, we'll be right back, as soon as that ended, we then got an actual ad for Minute Maid or for fucking Dodge Rams or
Hulk Hogan.
and then
We
Hulk.
got the
So
entire Hulk Hogan documentary.
now, let's be honest with you.
across the weekend.
WrestleMania ruined the Hulk Hogan documentary, because, my God, they kept putting matches on during Hulk Hogan's fucking documentary. Why would they do that? Because we were trying to watch the documentary, not WrestleMania. Like, just insanity. Absolute insanity. There were more Hulk Hogan promos. There were more, we'll be right back, and more ads than there was wrestling. And that is an absolute fucking disgrace that would happen. An absolute disgrace. You had 6 matches on one night. You had 7 matches on another night. Altogether, the combined amount of time for the matches did not even come close to what one night it would have been. So they could have put all matches on one night to the exact same times that they were, and people probably would have been happier about it, because we wouldn't have had constant promos about Hulk Hogan. You wouldn't have had constant, we'll be right back in 3.5 to 27 minutes. And you wouldn't have Minute Maid and Dodge Ram and every other bleeding thing being advertised. So I'm like, what the hell were you doing? Now, when you look at it, and because you have to look at it like this, was that people from a wrestling background's fault? Or was that people from a corporate background's fault? And it's very clearly, it's a corporate thing. It's very clearly, we need to make as much money as possible. So let's have 27 ads, Hulk Hogan advertised to absolute bollocks for Netflix. And then we might give you a match or two. And we might give you 5 minutes of this. Or, I wanted Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre to go 20 minutes, and for them to not have an ounce of blood left in their bodies. It was the most tamest, non-sanctioned match I've ever seen in my life. It was 10 minutes long, and that was that. The women's tag team titles got, 7 minutes? Okay, cool. We had an absolutely fantastic return with Paige. Probably not the right booking decision, but as I said, booking decisions are booking decisions, and you have to just fucking live with it. And, sometimes you're going to get it right, sometimes you get it wrong. Great to have her back. 7 minutes of a 4-way women's tag team match. Are you kidding me? What the hell was that?
Yeah.
We barely saw poor Bailey and Laura, the ones that we were tipping to win. We barely saw them. Oh, just ridiculous. Now, the wrestling itself, from start to finish, I thought they all did really well. Some matches, obviously, some matches were better than others, obviously, but I thought they did really well. I think Jesus Gunther and Seth, that was a match. Might have been short, but that was a match. Like, my Jesus, that was fantastic. I loved that match. The weirdness of the main event aside, I thought it was good. I thought the two lads went out absolutely resting their hearts out.
We'll talk about the main event unto itself. But yeah.
But for me, to get so little, so a 4-hour show, because Saturday was 4 hours and Sunday was 3.5 hours, or whatever. I can't remember exactly the times, but Saturday was longer. So, because they had that one extra match. Oh, yeah, because the one extra match is, weren't you going to put it over the time, considering so many fucking ads? I was so disappointed. So I don't think I've actually been disappointed by a WrestleMania my entire life. And there's been some stinkers over the years. Let's be honest, there has been. But nothing has disappointed me like the fact that me sitting, watching Netflix, and there was at least 7 or 8, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
At WrestleMania. Are you kidding me? What the fuck?
if I was watching at home, I'd go mad. Like now, we've kind of like spoke about this. We winged it at Survivor Series the first time they ran this, and we've started to make it the thing now, and it's getting bigger and bigger the more we do it. Like I just think if I was at home, I'd be going fucking insane, and you can see videos and stuff responding to it. But it's our job to make that
Yeah,
tolerable and stuff like that. So I liked the fact that we pivot and we try and make the ad breaks. And the one thing that I saw and I noticed was like you expect in the ad breaks people to file out. They're going to the bar, they're going for a piss, they're going for a smoke. There's a little bit of that, but for the
yeah,
most part, like by the end of the ad breaks, people were staying in their seats because we were sticking on like Maniac 2000 or Bon Jovi, or I put up a video of everyone singing Crazy World on Sunday and stuff like that as well. So we were just like, let's make this the crack. It's that's what we do. We're like, how do we turn this into a memorable night no matter what happens? How do we take it out of WWE's hands that like we're not reliant on them delivering for people to walk away saying I had an amazing weekend. So I'm proud of that, but it was made out of need because if I was watching that at home, I'd be fucking snapping. Like I because you're fighting sleep. It's late at night. Like it's tough to watch. For me, I'm not one of these bring back Vince McMahon people. I never will be. I think if you're getting nostalgic about Vince McMahon, you're forgetting what watching wrestling under Vince McMahon, especially in his later years, was like. It was terrible at times, and I think the product itself can be dull at times, like if they're in kind of a slump. But I think overall, the quality when WWE is bad now, it's not as bad as it was with Vince McMahon, where it was embarrassingly bad. Whereas now it might just be a bit boring or by the numbers. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
the floor for WWE is much higher now than it probably ever has been because Vince McMahon brought the floor really low with like some absolute stinkers of ideas. So I'm not saying bring back Vince by any means. But you hit the nail on the head there because if you asked people in a moment of true honesty within WWE, they would say the same as us and they'd feel the same as us if you ask the wrestlers. I think even if you went up as far as the likes of Triple H and the creative team, they'd be like, yes, we want more to work with. Like, we don't like this. I think what we're seeing now is just in Donald Trump's America, it is naked capitalism at work in a way that we've never seen before under Vince, with the likes of ticket prices, ad breaks during pay-per-views. TKO are pushing fans as far as they can go and seeing what people will go with and what people
Mhm.
won't. And the reaction you're getting isn't that WWE is the worst it's ever been. That's the lazy way to kind of surmise it because like you said, the content itself is good. We want more of it. We want Becky versus AJ to be longer. We want to be able to savor the page come back. The content itself isn't the problem. It is the fact that fans are feeling squeezed for every fucking penny. It is the fact that they're constantly selling to you when you've already bought from them. That like people are responding badly to, and like TKO, and that's what capitalism is. You get these corporations who push as much on you. They see what gets backlash, and then they roll back. You know what I mean? Disney get rid of Jimmy Kimmel because they face pressure from Donald Trump. The American public reacts badly. They go, "Oh, we're going to sign Jimmy Kimmel to a new contract." You know, that's capitalism,
Yeah.
in its barest form. But we are feeling the level and the push of capitalism on WWE in a way that's now impacting. Now, am I panicking? No. I think WWE are listening. For example, look at what they did with watch parties and what we've just spoken about. They tried to ban them and then they now put it on their broadcast. You know what I mean? They can course correct quite easily here, but I need them to hear this. Pay-per-views during ads, you need to stop that shit, guys. You need to learn the lesson. Put out other content, like put out stuff that we can engage with. But just a like 3 minute clip of wrestlers mugging to camera with "We'll be right back" in 15 different languages.
That's not even an ad.
It's
That's
not
not an
even
ad.
content.
No.
It's just dead air. What are you selling? What are you pushing here? It's just that. Why can that not be 3 minutes of fucking more Becky Lynch? Why can that not be 3 minutes of more Seth Rollins Gunther? Why can that not be anything else? It is dead air and there's no benefit to it. And if you can't figure out how to make your segments bleed more seamlessly into each other. That's a you problem to figure out. And I need you to figure it out because Lord knows you've got the money. I seen your ticket prices. So figure it out
Yeah.
fast, WWE. It's
I
crazy.
I think for me, a couple of years ago, everyone talks about the Raw after Mania because it's normally the best Raw of the entire year. It's always fantastic. But a couple of years ago, fans in the arena completely hijacked it. And they weren't chanting for what we were looking at. They were chanting whatever the fuck they wanted to chant. So they effectively tried to ruin the night for WWE. That needs to happen tonight. And it needs to happen in a scale we've never seen before. They need it. People going online generally a lot of the time, WWE will just go, yeah, whatever, fucking marks. That's exactly
They
what they
do.
will say.
They openly do
They do,
interviews going, online fans aren't real fans. And it's just
yeah.
like, fuck off.
So what
Like,
they
that's your
need
only
is, yeah,
fans. Everyone's
they,
online these days. There's no difference. No, there's no
yeah,
smart fans anymore. There's just
no,
fans. And they consume your product online as well because everyone has these online accounts. The news, the wrestling news, you don't have to subscribe to a newsletter anymore. It pops up on your Instagram feed, which everyone has Instagram. They're like, fans are fans. Like, if
yeah,
they're telling you this, you can't just, yeah, the bits you don't like. Like, you can't
exactly.
just write it off and explain it as in, oh, well, Twitter's not real. Like, or Twitter's a fucking cesspit. That's a bad example. But
After
this is
after
how
this,
people feel.
yeah, after this weekend, and especially with tonight, WWE need to be punished. And you know what? And I'll actually rephrase what I said there. It's not even really WWE need to be punished. TKO need to be punished. They need to be told this is not how you treat wrestling fans. This is not how we. This is not what we want from a product. Basically, Raw needs to be completely and utterly hijacked tonight by that crowd. That crowd need to boo everything, even if it's the most amazing thing they've ever seen in their life. They need to boo the shit out of it. They need to absolutely cause chaos at it, and then after that, then they need to be punished. They need to be like, no, I'm not buying tickets. And you know me, Jer, I do not like AEW, and the AEW were absolutely slated like a year or two, whatever it was, because like half the arena was empty. So they're only showing you one side of the arena, the other side of the arena is completely empty. That needs to happen. Arenas need to be
Yeah, it's
half
not gonna
full.
like again. They're selling out like Raw is sold out tonight. I'd say
Yeah, but
like I don't have the
it
exact
was
ticket.
sold out before Mania. So people
But
they need
yeah,
to be punished. They need to be
but
punished.
no, I do agree. I do agree. And to be fair, this is why, even when I hear your criticisms of AEW, this is why I kind of will always stick up for them because they kind of are the opposite of that. They're giving you too much wrestling. You're like, calm down on the wrestling,
This
lads. You know
this
what I
is the
mean?
thing that annoys me. This is the thing that really annoys me because like
Don't.
I can honestly say that a lot of the wrestling in AEW, because it's not like I actually don't watch. I watch clips. I don't watch shows. I watch clips. A lot of the wrestling in it is fantastic. No, I don't. You know me. I don't like a lot of the flippy, stupid, crazy shit. I don't like when they're like somebody's after taking 50 million bumps and then they pop right back up and they're like, not everybody's the Undertaker, lads. There's a bit of aura about him. There's no fucking aura about you. You fucking dope. But when it comes to it, they actually do seem to actually give a shit about actual wrestling
Yeah.
and put on lots of matches, lots of time for matches, and the lads, however much I might dislike it, have like a bit of control about what they do. Whereas WWE, I'm like, do you even give a shit about wrestling anymore, or is it just about making money? That's what it
Yeah,
seems.
and I think like I said, I think WWE. I know there is a storyline, and again, you can't separate the two, but I think the wrestling people within WWE would all agree with you. They're all the same page. Like nobody
Yeah.
wants 3 minutes. Do you think the wrestlers in the ring are like take 3 minutes off my match and just show Charlotte posing with "We'll be right back" under it? Like nobody wants that. Nothing against Charlotte. Like she just a name that came to my mind. But anyway. We said coming into Sunday then, um, Sunday has a lot of work to do and has to rescue it. But we also knew that Sunday was the better card of the two. We got like Obafemi, we got the Brock Lesnar kind of reveal at the end of it. We got the ladder match was fucking crazy. We got the Demon back. We got title changes with Trick Williams and Rhea Ripley winning, and then of course we got Reigns and Punk in the main event. Reigns won the World Heavyweight Championship. Did Sunday rescue Saturday?
I'm going to say no. No,
Okay.
that's probably controversial, but I'm
No,
going to
no, no.
say
I don't
no.
think it is. I think
The-
everyone feels the same. Like
yeah,
I don't
but
think that's
I think unfortunately we all thought after Saturday like they need to change Sunday. They need to stop. They need to have some backstage segments. You need to have some funny shit. You need to have R-Truth just being fucking R-Truth. Like, you look at any Mania before this weekend, any Mania, and it wasn't dead air. We'll be right back. It wasn't constant ads. It wasn't promos for the fucking Hulk Hogan shit on. And I actually can't get over the fact that they're glorifying him so much, just because he's dead.
He's
That's the
dead,
only
and
reason they're doing it.
it's just the
That's
year. It's the year that's in it. They're trying to
yeah.
milk the cash cow for what it's
It's
worth.
it's
Donald
so
Trump
it's
is
so
back.
ridiculous. Yeah,
Like, it is what it is. They're not going to be, and you just have to make that. Like, you just have to decide: can I support this product? It is Triple H is going out there with Donald Trump, like, and this is the like. So people that were cancelled are now uncancelled. This is the America. This is the world we're living in. There's
yeah,
no amount of pushback while Donald Trump is president that is going to say this. So what we have to decide as fans is: do I accept this? And if not, you have AEW, you have New Japan, but like, there's no point. For me, I feel it's a redundant debate to say, like, oh, they shouldn't do this, like, because that's who they are, and our job is to accept, right, but I like Royal Rumbles, but I like Becky Lynch, but I like Lyra Valkyria, but I like Finn Balor, I like the
yeah,
talent and the roster, and I like when the content is really good, and it can be at times. So do I accept that more and just live with the reality that this is Donald Trump's America and they're going to celebrate Hulk Hogan? Like, again, I don't really have any expectations of them not to. This is the company we're dealing with. They're not like
yeah,
good people. I'm not following them for their moral character. I'm following them because I like Royal Rumbles and counting down three, two, one. That's what I like.
yeah. Well,
I like the
I'll get
community that we bring together, and that thing.
yeah,
That's what I choose to like, and how I
yeah.
position my fandom and justify it in my head, if that makes sense.
I'll okay. I 100% agree with you. I'll get back to what I would have been saying after that point. Um, so I felt like we were still getting those ads. We were still getting the welcome. I keep saying welcome for some fucking reason. We'll be right back. You got no backstage. There was zero backstage segments, I think, for the entire weekend. Am I wrong?
Yeah,
Zero
no, you're
backstage
right.
segments. There was
Yeah,
nothing. Like, you remember back in the day, you would have had a bit of Mean Gene. You know, a few interviews, maybe an interview or two before a big match, before the main events, even, or something. Give us fucking anything other than what you gave us. And the fact that there was one less match on Sunday, the only good part about that was it finished early. That's the only good thing about the Sunday, is that it finished early. So I was actually able to get a little bit more sleep in than I did the night before. But for me, the wrestling on both nights was good. I didn't have an issue with any of the wrestling. I thought a lot of the stuff on the Sunday was great. Obviously, we got the Demon back. We got that. I thought it was a great entrance by Dom. I thought that was fantastic. I wasn't the biggest Dom fan, but I was like, that's really cool. That's really,
brilliant.
really
I
cool.
love getting that.
He's the king of the luchadors. I fucking
Yeah.
love that. Finn Balor coming out, he just looked great, and the whole entrance was fantastic. I thought the very simplistic entrance of Punk was brilliant. I thought how they did that was actually really, really good. How he came out to no music, did the clobbering time, then the music comes on. I'm like, I like that.
Well,
That was
no,
really
no,
good.
he came out to his old Ring of Honor team, AFI. Like, that was the preamble to, and
Yeah,
then
yeah,
it
yeah.
went silent. Then he did its clobbering time. Then Cult of Personality. I thought that was fucking excellent and
It was
proper
brilliant.
WrestleMania vibes.
And even Reigns, the legacy pictures that they had behind the musicians playing, I was like, I was like, for me, and I think that some people would agree with me, some people won't. I think the way Undertaker to WrestleMania is now Roman Reigns to WrestleMania, because he's the big marquee, he's the big ticket match at WrestleMania now. He is the Undertaker at WrestleMania. That's essentially what he is. And he now has the longevity to go along. Now, he's not going to have like an undefeated streak or anything like that, but it's the same type of thing. This is if you want a big match at Mania, you're going to have it with Roman Reigns. And I think that's the way they're going with it. I think, and he is like, that match with Punk, I thought was brilliant. I thought they certainly told the story. It, completely wrong with my prediction for this match. Complete, like, nothing. The whole thing was that maybe it was very much like 17. Is that a lot of the kind of points from Austin versus Rocket 17 were kind of met. They were going back and forth. There was certain submissions done. There was, like, they robbed each other's finishers.
I
There was
think
all that. It
I,
was
I
like
think
great.
I don't think it was an homage, and I respected the match for this. I think they went out and rather than trying to have an Austin versus Rock WrestleMania 17 match, they said, let's have a Punk versus Reigns. Let's tell them our own
Yeah,
story. And I respected that. I thought they did that quite well. The finish wasn't what I was expecting, like, and I
yeah,
understand if people felt it was a bit flat, but I think that it's part of a longer term. Like, it's not flat in terms of shit like last year's WrestleMania with John Cena winning and fucking Travis Scott and all of that. It was just unexpected because we expected something different and magic to happen. And
yeah.
like sometimes you get a WrestleMania 40 finish the story finish with
Mm.
everything happening and it's cathartic. And sometimes you get a WrestleMania 39 finish where it's like, oh, this is that. Oh, I want more, and I
Yeah,
thought it was a build up to
yeah.
wanting more. Because you got to look at, like, right, do you know what my theory about people living in WrestleMania cycles, right? Look at the Punk evolution since he's come back. So his first WrestleMania, he got his main event, but it was a Saturday main event and he didn't win. Now he's got his Sunday main event. Now he is the star. This is the pipe bomb, like full circle moment where he's now got it, but he hasn't won a WrestleMania main event. So next step will be he wins a WrestleMania event. I put all my money on Punk winning that. Punk is now on the Cody Rhodes story kind of arc, so to speak.
So okay, let me put this to you. Okay, so there was an interview done there with Paul Heyman, I think last week or the week before, about how he's really and it was mentioned in Unreal as well, how he's really been pushing for them. What are we doing at Saudi Mania? Is it booked yet? Do we know what we're doing? He's like, every WrestleMania should be the shooting off point for the following WrestleMania. So do you believe that that's what happened last night with Reigns beating Punk, that he will then
Yes.
have his redemption next year at Mania?
Yes, and if you look into long-term storytelling, it is actually full circle in a WWE sense. I don't know if fans love this,
Mm,
but WWE will love the full circleness of Punk having his big moment in Saudi Arabia. It is the completion of his character.
yeah,
It's like he went away, he was dissatisfied with WWE. They weren't giving him WrestleMania spots. That when he was supposed to get his WrestleMania spot, he got the Undertaker streak match, which he lost. They always ignored him. They always snubbed him. He went away. He started becoming WWE's biggest critic. He criticized him for Saudi Arabia. He came back to WWE. Again, we don't love this, but like he made amends with Saudi Arabia. They see that as a big thing. John Cena talks about that as like one of the highlights of his last year. And then for him to have his crowning moment in Saudi Arabia, WWE will see that as a story. I don't know
yeah,
if we'll love it, but we can separate the Saudi Arabia of it, and CM Punk fans can go, that's my CM Punk winning
right.
WrestleMania.
I'm making a prediction now then, because something that has been on my mind generally when it comes to Mania season is I'm automatically thinking of the next Royal Rumble. And I'm like, right, we saw on Saturday Cody winning. I was like, okay, so he's still champion. Okay, so he'd probably keep for another few months, probably back and forth to somebody else, maybe lose it, win it back, blah, blah, blah. I was like, he's not winning again. I was like, who the fuck's going to win the Royal Rumble next year? Punk lost last night, lost the title. And then your idea then of him winning in the main event, winning the title in the main event of Mania next year, Punk wins the Rumble.
And who does he beat? Go with it. We're on the same page.
Go on.
No, he beats Cody Rhodes. Like that's the story that they're telling. Like
Hmm.
look at how they
Okay.
finished
I wouldn't
SmackDown.
have, actually, I didn't think that. I
They are
didn't
the
think that.
Rock Austin of this era. They are
Hmm.
WWE's two guys, but also they're the two guys that jumped from AEW. They're the two
Hmm.
guys that swung momentum back to WWE to create this Triple H era. Like that's where WWE are going. So it's Punk against Rhodes. Punk wins in Saudi Arabia. That's kind of again. Do we love the Saudi Arabia of it all? Is it the clean kind of story
No.
in the way that finishing the story was? It's probably not, but that's I think the arc that they're telling us. And if you look at it, it may have been confusing to a lot of people, and it was to me at the time. I fully expected Randy Orton to win on Saturday night,
Yes.
but then when I look at it, I'm like, Rhodes won on Saturday, Punk won on Sunday. Next year, I'll be like, oh, I see what you were doing there. Now, Punk wins on Sunday for the undisputed WWE Championship. That's where he gets his WrestleMania moment. That's the
Yeah.
crowning achievement. Punk
I,
finishes
I
his.
I genuinely hope you're right by that, because I think that would be a great, that is an actual proper year long build. So if that's something that
It's a,
Punk
it's
is
it's
that
Jerry.
something
It's a it's a 16-year long build. The pipe bomb was in 2011. It is a 16-year story. That's what makes it satisfying in terms of like that is like it is the if the pipe bomb is the jumping off point, that is where everything is paid off. Did they mean it? Did they intend it? No,
Yeah.
but are they writing it into a good arc? You can't argue that that is a
Hmm.
good story.
Right.
And
Here's
again,
here's
look,
my question then.
WWE, they do things well sometimes too.
Yeah.
So like
Right. Here's my question then. Does Cody hold the belt from now until Mania next year? I don't think so. I think
no,
he's going to
no,
lose
you
that
can.
and win it back.
Yeah, yeah, you can do that. Like again, consider again Austin Rock. We look at like Mania 17 as the archetype for our era of wrestling storytelling. What you don't remember is that The Rock beat Kurt Angle a No Way Out for the belt. You know what I mean?
A
After Austin
month
looking rough up.
before, a little
Yeah,
month before.
but we don't think about that because
Mm.
in our head, it's like The Rock was the champion, you know what I mean? And Austin was the challenger. It doesn't matter. That's the stuff, but we're living WrestleMania to WrestleMania because the real story was Austin beat Rock at 15. They were the two stories. Austin went away because he got run over. Well, he got the neck injury. He came back from that and then he won the belt, but then he turned on Vince McMahon. And then the follow on story is WrestleMania 19, where The Rock finally beat Stone Cold Steve Austin. That's your WrestleMania to WrestleMania storytelling, and
Yeah.
that's what they're doing here. But actually, it's not a year long. It's we are in the middle of this. It is CM Punk comes back to WWE. It is Cody Rhodes comes back to WWE. There's a whole fucking story to tell. And you know the only bad thing about it is that they have that 16 years worth of storyline to tell. And then when we're going to be in the WrestleMania cycle, all you hear is and it becomes about Pat McAfee instead. And that's all.
Please no. Please no. Jesus Christ, no.
But at WrestleMania, okay, we're a whistle stop tour. We could talk for probably 3 hours on everything that happened. The last thing I want to discuss is, and I think this would be interesting for the type of people who listen to our podcast, which that is, I mean that positively, the good people. But for if you listen to, I'd like to analyze us. We are low blows. Of course, we have the Jimmies as well. We only realized last night that the core low blows team are two Jimmies and two Gers, which it may be problematic. Like actually, when I think about, it. I don't know why, but it's just weird. But essentially, we're low blows, and now we're at the end of this WrestleMania cycle. I want us to have an honest conversation, because we exist based on what people want from us, and we always encourage feedback. But I think it's good for us to evaluate ourselves because we can pat ourselves on the back, and we should for some things. But then there are other things where maybe we could do it better. So, Jerry, was there any opportunities or anything from WrestleMania, the weekend, the build up, anything that you thought like, "Oh, actually, I'd like to make that better"? Because I think what I'll always look to do with WrestleMania is I want WrestleMania to be like we topped ourselves in terms of
Mm.
like whatever you've done before and what you've seen in Low Blows presentation. I'll always make the Rumble is fun, and that is where it's the most fun. But WrestleMania is like, holy shit, this is at a new level.
Yeah.
And I thought we hit that to a point. But what should we be looking? What gaps should we be looking to close this time next year for WrestleMania? Was there anything you thought of or anything you?
When it comes to this past weekend, and we'll take the last few events that we've done. So we'll take Mania this year, we'll take Rumble, we'll take Survivor Series. The feedback has, for me anyway, from people has been universally positive. And I will say this: it's obviously something that we've always done. We've always done things on the night. So whether it be like Hall of Fame, whether it be quizzes, whether it be 2K, SmackDown games, wherever it may be, people like that because the feedback I get is when people are coming up to the, has a quiz started yet? I really want to do the quiz. Or has this started yet? I really want to do that. I'm like, no, it hasn't started yet. You're just on time. And then the disappointment in people's faces when they go, no, it's literally just over. I can't believe I missed it. They love it that much. I remember when we first did this and we were doing certain things, but it wasn't meant, we do an L raffle. So there's Gerry going around selling the tickets for the raffle. You know what I mean? And that's kind of how things started, and it started to balloon from there. We do different things. There was so many different things we've done over the years. There's like the heel, the heel face that you do, and it's a quick turnaround, brilliant. And we've gotten like look at Phil, like Phil Boyd doing that was absolutely fantastic. I love doing that. I love the Hall of Fame stuff. Obviously, with me and Jimmy on the door, you don't actually get to see a lot of it. I do a walk around every now and then, just kind of see anyone that doesn't have a stamp, you can fuck off or go downstairs and pay your ticket, and then you can come in and thank you very much for your money.
Least in the
Um,
place.
but I think for me, it's like people like that, and it's a thing where they like seeing stuff on the screens that is wrestling. So whether the what you did for this past weekend is that like that those top 10 matches that culminating in it was Shawn Michaels Undertaker, wasn't it?
Shawn
That was
Michaels
the one.
Undertaker
Wasn't it?
won. Yeah,
That was
that
in the
was the
final one.
winner in the end of a
People like to
WrestleMania
see
World Cup.
like there was a few lads that were literally I heard them. I was on the door and they went for a quick smoke. They said, "Hurry up, come on! Shawn Michaels Undertaker is starting." They wanted to get back in to watch the match.
Love it.
I'm like,
Love
something
it.
you've probably seen 50 times before. So this is stuff that people love. In terms of adding to it, I wanna know what people want. So I want
Yeah.
them. It's not for me to say because I'm not there. I'm there to enjoy them enjoying it. So it's like
Yeah.
they need to tell us what they want. So to the people,
I,
to the young
I,
people of Ireland, please tell us if you want more. Do you want extra? Do you want me? Do you want to get rid of Jared? Do you want him gone? He's gone. If you want me on the stage, I'll be there. If you want me in a mankini, it's not going to happen. But good luck for trying. But stuff like that, if whatever you want, it's things that you want. If you want to see more stuff in terms of quiz, if you want to see more things going on, more competition, let us know. You have to
yeah,
give us
please
feedback.
do.
We can't just constantly come up with this stuff. You have to let us know what you want. If there's something that you like seeing, if we want to bring the beer pong back, well, maybe not. But if you want to bring that back, great. Or if you want to bring back promos, great. Or if you want to bring back whatever the fuck you've seen over the years, just don't say the low blows ban. For the love of Jesus, don't say it.
Why? Like I think that was great. That was some of the most fun I've ever had. No, but like it was crazy. Like it was too much. It was way too much work. Here's one I want to get people's opinion on, right? Because I have an opinion based off this, right?
Yeah.
2 nights is a lot, okay? To ask from, but I think it's right for WrestleMania, and I think
Mm.
if they do 2 nights, if they ever switch to 2 nights for the Royal Rumble, it's right for that, right?
Yeah.
Here's what I'm thinking, and I'm very much open to discussion on this. So please send me your thoughts and let me know. And if you want, if you're like, how do I send it? Just DM us on Instagram. Like I'll
Yeah.
see it personally. Um,
2 to 3 months, you'll
me,
see it, but it'll be fine.
2 nights is a lot, and like it splits people. Like this year really split people, like because there was like because it's expensive these days too, you know what I mean? A night out in Dublin just is expensive. And we try help as much as we can with that. We will always try keep ticket prices affordable and stuff like that as well. That's our only kind of way to actually fund the parties and kind of run them as well. We'll always try to keep ticket prices the same. I've no plans of changing them or anything like that at any time. I'm not TKO. But I'm I want people's thoughts because what I'm leaning towards right now is one big party for SummerSlam. I think two would be a lot, and we kind of felt that last year, you know what I mean? And we made the best of it, and it worked, and it was fine. I think everyone there had a great night, and that's the most important thing. But I'm leaning towards SummerSlam is on a bank holiday, and Sunday tends to be the big night with the biggest match. So I'm leaning towards a Sunday party and get everyone in and pack it and make it crazy. But that could change because now we have a relationship with WWE and they might say, no, we want stuff for Saturday. So we may end up
Mm.
doing a Saturday anyway. But I want your guys' thoughts on that. Is 2 nights too much? I think it's right for Mania. You can't pick the night because they
Yeah.
split the matches so much. We would have missed fucking Becky. We would have missed Gunther Rollins, Cody Orton. Like, so no, I'll never split Mania. And like I said, the Rumble, I think people love enough that they do the 2 nights anyway. But
Yeah.
for the likes of SummerSlam and Survivor Series, because they are talking about making every big four pay-per-view a 2 night one, I think one night on it. I think if it's a bank holiday and SummerSlam is the August bank holiday, I think have the Sunday night. I think if it's not a bank holiday and people need to go to work on the Monday, I think the Saturday, and we saw that in this WrestleMania, and that Saturday was busier than the Sunday because people, weren't
Mm.
able to take off work on the Monday or whatever. So that's where I'm leaning, and I'd love to get your thoughts. There were some bits that, I want to improve. I'm a perfectionist. There were some technical snafus like throughout the night and stuff like that. I thought the presentation was really good. I thought the low blows WhatsApp and how we started using QR codes on the screen. I thought that really worked as a way for people to interact with me in real time. Like I looked at that when I was doing song requests and stuff. Every time I needed a request, I went straight to that, and I was like, right, there we go. It's a great way to chat to us in real time because it can be challenging. Like I love when people come up and chat to me, but it can be challenging. There was one time on Sunday where I was like in the middle of a promo and there was just a guy standing beside me like, hey, hey. And I'm like, I'm literally talking to everyone. I can't talk to you right now. Give me 2 seconds on the mic. I felt bad because I was just trying to comment, but I had a mic in front of me. Um, And then we had a chat and it was grand. But like that's a good way to kind of communicate like what you want throughout the night. And I thought people got it. I thought it worked seamlessly, like how people entered 2K26, got their bingo cards and stuff like that. I thought that worked really well because do you remember we used to do table quizzes and we used to have you fucking collecting pages off people and like correcting it frantically and stuff like that. That was no way to work. It was no way to live. I think we've really adapted that. I'm thinking of getting rid of door sales altogether and just making it Eventbrite only. We people tend to buy off Eventbrite and we push them that way anyway. It's just much easier, and that means that you get so that's something that we probably will like kill door sales and just make it Eventbrite only now. But I'm open to like conversations there. The marketing is something I want to look at as well. I understand that it can be a lot for people. What you have to consider, like again, because we have to push it so hard. Two nights or two WrestleMania parties back to back. That they're it's a lot to kind of get in the crowds for that, and for Woolshed for it to make sense for them to open late because they have extra costs for licensing and this and that and the other and staffing and everything else. For it to make sense for them, they need crowds. So I need to make sure we pack it out. For us, we need an atmosphere for it to be worth you guys coming out. There needs to be people there, so we need to advertise it and promote it as much as possible because you think that putting up one post is enough. It's really not like because people miss shit on their feed. There's so much stuff going around. I thought we did well this year though in terms of making it engaging for people and not seeming like we're beating you over the head, like bringing the podcast back, the World Cup. We managed to like make it fun for people, and that's what I'll always look to do. But I'm open to ideas and feedback on that too. It's something I'm conscious of. I loved as well on the door. I thought even like what I always wanted was I didn't want us to feel like once we got on Netflix we were big leaguing people and we're like, oh no, we're like this WWE thing now. And you guys set that tone on the door by just being like just yourselves and just having the crack with people. Like I came down at one point and I was chatting to you and there was people that came in and their mates had come in with their tickets beforehand and then they were like kind of anxious and panicky and like kind of like oh, they have the tickets, we don't have the tickets, blah 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 blah. And then like Jimmy just looked at them and then he goes, is that Dumb and Dumber, is it? Yeah. And the lads just laughed. They pissed themselves. They're like, that's the one. And then they're like, yeah, we know. Go ahead. You're grand. It's already sorted. And just, you make it so easy for people. You make people laugh. It can be anxiety driven going to an event and social night and then the tickets and everything else. And you guys just make that easy for people and put them at ease and set the tone for them. You make it easy for me to work. So thank you to you guys for the work you do. It is fucking invaluable. And I think I speak for everyone. Love stuff like the how we've made ad breaks work for us. That like it is some of the best parts of the night are the ad breaks now. Whereas if you're at home, and I think we really kind of exemplify what we say in terms of like you'll have a great night with us no matter what. You will have a WrestleMania to remember, and I think people are coming away from it now kind of feeling that, and that means a lot. We're hearing it from people. It means a lot, and it's just nice to be on this side of it now. And not that it's done because I love it and I'll feel a void over the next while. I'm going on holidays to try just distract myself from feeling the kind of post like show come down and depression that you get when you're fucking you spoke about this with Comic-Con afterwards where you're just
Mm.
like, oh, what
Oh,
now? And so but it is nice and relieving for it to be over and for it to have gone well and everyone's had a great weekend. It means a lot. And ads then I just said there, Jerry.
no, just I want the crowd to continue to be themselves. I think we do have the best fans for the best fan parties in the world. New people, and what I would say is this is that if you know people who are wrestling fans or even just casual fans of wrestling, tell them about it. Get them to come along. Like I know a group of lads that unfortunately the planets just have not aligned that they haven't been able to come in, but they're literally chomping at the bit to be able to come in. And they're always like, "Where are your tickets? There's tickets there. Where tables? You can get the tables there. It's all on Eventbrite." I said, "You can book it." I said, "It's literally all there. All the information is going to be in the social media." I said, "It's all there." I said, "Lads, honestly, you're going to have a great night. It's really really good." And that is just those couple of different groups that came in over the weekend that we'd never seen before that literally told us we saw on Netflix and we thought we know we'd give it a go. And it wasn't about them It wasn't about them coming in to be on Netflix. It was about them seeing on a Netflix going, that looks fucking deadly. I want to go to that. And that's exactly what it's all about. And just chatting with them throughout the night. Obviously, people are having a few drinks, going out and have a bit of a smoke, whatever. And they would just, this is why I like being where I am with Jimmy on the door, because you talk to every one of them. There is not a single person that comes in on the night that does not talk to you. Every single person talks to you. And even if in your life you have a bit of anxiety or a bit awkward or whatever it may be, as soon as you cross that threshold in the Woolshed for one of these parties, it seems to evaporate and you talk. And it's not even us you talk to. I saw people who had never met each other in their life talking to each other last night, sitting with each other in boots. By all means, sit beside me. That's the way it was. That's the way these parties have always been from the very first day we did it. And it literally brings people together. I've known people that I've met at these parties. They went on to become really good friends. They were bridesmaids and best men and what at other people's parties that they met at these parties. Just but like this is what these nights do to people. And if nothing else, we're getting bigger and better. So you come along. I encourage you all to come along. And I want to exemplify what you were saying there. The whole thing about what nights you're gonna would you just do one big night? Mania, absolutely. No matter what, would always be the 2 nights. But when it comes to the other events, unless it's a bank holiday, I think probably the one night is the way to go. But it literally is right now with them wanting content from us. It's play it by ear. So let's see exactly what they want, but most importantly, let's see what our fans want. So if they want the 2 nights, we give them the 2 nights. If they want the one night, we give them the one night. If they want Ger and Gerry in matching mankinis, maybe.
There might be a time for that, Gerry, because you've set me up nicely, because we are going to be doing a night. Maybe that's the thing. And I'm not making a promise. I'm not wearing a mankini to this. I'll just say that now straight. I'm not doing. You can do what you fucking want, but I'm not. You brought me on nicely, because we usually now we're like, oh, we're done until August for SummerSlam. But WWE, the stars have aligned. WWE have an event, and people love. We saw with the Rumble, they love the all-day events. They love the events where they get the last bus home or the last Lewis home and stuff like that. WWE are running WWE Clash in Italy Sunday the 31st of May, and we said, fuck it, let's do it. It's going to be a smaller, more low-key vibe, and sometimes they're my favorite nights. It's going to be a Ned's night. So in the back bar rather than in the main bar, unless plans change and we just get huge demand. But tickets are on sale, should be on sale now for everyone. We put out early bird tickets. We always look after the people who go to the parties first, so they got first dibs on them. But yeah, we have tickets on sale now. And also on that, Gerry, this is a very exciting milestone for you, but also something I've wanted to do. For the first time since 2017, as part of the pre-show for Clash in Italy, so before you sit down and watch the wrestling, we are bringing back Low Blows Live. And Gerry, you've obviously been to Low Blows Live before, but now you're a Low Blows host. So you're going to be on stage and we're going to be doing a live show for you guys. We'll give you information. Now's the time for us having a rest after WrestleMania. So we'll give you more information in future pods as we go. But we have already some really, really good guests booked. Probably some of the biggest name guests we've had for Low Blows Live in history. Like, because usually it's just ourselves on stage acting the bollocks, but there will be that. But we also have some really exciting guest books. So we'll reveal that as we go throughout. But get tickets fast, because it is a limited attendance, like with it being a smaller vibe. So like, again, go there. We just have general admission. There's no table bookings for this because it's a smaller room. And it is just like, get there early and make sure that you're there for Low Blows Live, and then we'll put you in the mood, and then we'll have Clash in Italy live and in full, and then you get to go home and you're like, but it's a Sunday night, but it finishes early, so you get to go home, you get to be tucked up, no days off work needed, nothing like that, and you just get to enjoy it all. And it is also the June bank holiday weekend too, so there's that too. So it is actually a banker. So that's coming up May 31st. How you feeling about Low Blows Live? You excited?
I'm just happy that I'm not Mr. WrestleMania or anything like that, but Mr. Fuck Off will be there.
The father Jack of Low Blows.
The father Jack, feck up. The father Jack of Low Blows will be there. I actually can't wait, because obviously I was there for previous ones, and they're always a great laugh. So to be actually doing it live, it's definitely going to be a different one for me. Like I'm used to getting in front of crowds, and I have no issue talking to a room of people. But this is different because it is. I do kind of have to perform in a way because I'm like, shit, I now need to be the same Gerry that does the podcast, but
Yeah.
in a room front of people, a room full of people. So I need to go. I need to picture everyone in the underwear. I'm like, okay. Some of these, I'm like, oh, Jesus. Something like, oh, okay. But so yeah, we'll see. Um, well, the one when I went, oh, that's me in the mirror. So that's fine. But yeah, no, I am looking forward to it, and I think people are going to be very happy with the guests that we have. Um, I think it's going to be it's definitely going to be a laugh. Definitely going to be a laugh. So
Yeah.
by all means, book your tickets early. Um, and make sure you're there because we are. I think it's going to be a great event. God knows what the matches are, how many ads there's going to be on them. Let's hope not many. Um, and then you'll have low blows live. You'll have us to entertain you. So yeah, let's have a great fucking first low blows back in 27 years.
Yes. Since 2017, it's I've been loving this. And Gerry, don't worry, it is a friendly room. They get it. It's always you get nervous when you're going up to it, but then you get in front of it and you're like, oh, I know all these are my people. These are my people. It's fine. And then you just get to have fun. It is an amazing experience. I've been dying for years, literal years, to do this. So I hope you guys can join us and be there and add your unique blend of kind of crack and atmosphere and everything else. And look, we'll see if WWE wants some shots for Netflix. We'll see how we get on. Like I'll talk to their people. Like I'll just send them a cheeky WhatsApp now. I'm gonna be so wanky. Gerry, that's all the time we have. Although we could talk for 3 more hours probably, but people have to listen to this as well, so we'll draw a line there. Before we go, anything to plug or anything you'd like to shout out that you're watching or enjoying or anything like that?
Basically, I want people to stop ruining the fucking boys for me because I've seen spoilers online and I haven't got to watch the last season yet. So I'm like,
The
piss
UK.
off. Stop fucking spoiling it, please. Shower up. And this is the thing. Even one of the actors has spoiled it. I'm like, why would you? Why? Why? It's like, stop it. Like, I really, because like, big
When you
boys,
say
man.
spoiled, are you talking about the episode that released?
Basically, people have been putting out things that they've seen. And I'm like, why are you saying that?
That's
Why did
on
you do that?
you, Gerry. If you
Shut
haven't
up.
watched it, you live in a
Shut
content
up.
environment.
Shut up. No one asked you. Shut up. Fucking sick of your shit. I've had to deal with you for 2 fucking days. I'm so glad we're not recording for 3 weeks. I finally get a fucking break from you. Finally, finally get a fucking break from you. So like, yeah, there's your plug. Go fuck yourself.
He's sick of me. He's had his fill, and
Sick
I
of him.
appreciate it, Gerry. Well, look, Gerry, I'm not sick of you. I appreciate you and all the amazing work you've done. Genuinely, I mean it. All the amazing work. Thanks also to the Jimmies as well who helped out. Thanks to Jay who put together the amazing poster. And thanks to all of you who attended WrestleMania weekend. It was absolutely class. We hope you had fun, and we hope you're recovering all right as well. This has been the WrestleMania Hangover Show. Thank you to everyone who played a part in making this happen. It was a huge success, and we're absolutely delighted, and we can't wait to be back. Gerry gave the game away there. We will be taking a little bit of a break. We'll be back because we usually do every second week, but we did one last week and we did one this week, so we'll be back in 3 weeks. We're gonna just kind of get the WrestleMania out of our system and remember what life is again. I'm dating someone, and I'm not sure if we're still dating because I've been so shit at texting the past week. So I have to kind of get all that shit sorted and remember what like normal Jer is like when I'm outside of WrestleMania season. So we're gonna do that, but we will be back in 3 weeks, and when we come back, we will have news about what Clash in Italy is gonna look like. But make sure you get your tickets before then. I guarantee you're gonna like it. In the meantime, for Gerry, thank you one more time. I've been Jer. This has been the WrestleMania Hangover edition of Low Blows, and ladies and gentlemen, one last time until 3 weeks. That's the bottom line because Low Blow said so.
We'll see you at Clash of Italy. Now fuck off.